I like this writer, Kate Roberts. She writes short stories primarily, or I encountered her writing short stories. She's written longer stories and she writes exclusively in the Welsh language. But I am not at all fluent in the Welsh language. I know words here or there, the odd sentence. I thought, how can I make a theatre piece based on this wonderful female writer who's worshipped by people who read her in the Welsh language, perhaps the older generation. She writes primarily about North Wales and the hardships that the working class encounter in North Wales. And the first thing I thought was, hang on a minute here, don't worry about translation, because we're engaged in the act of translation every single day of our lives in our own language, our mother tongue, if you like. Somebody says, how are you feeling, with a heaviness? And you go, oh, you translate that sentence. And go, oh, perhaps they're not feeling very well, or they don't care so much how I'm feeling. Or somebody laughs at one of your jokes, but they don't laugh as much as you'd like. So you feel that perhaps you've offended them with the joke, and it wasn't the right time for a joke. So you're always engaged in translation. That's my first thought, really, about when you approach a subject that's written in another language. The second is, it's probably a good idea to read the play or the short stories in your own language, so you can at least familiarise yourself with them, so you can catch something of their scent, their smell, the ethos of the writer. Okay, it's going to be translated, but as I say, you translate every day. We do as human beings. So I, in this case, read as much of Kate Roberts as I could in English, in a very good translation, apparently, by an American writer. And then I thought about not so much the words that were written on the page in the translation, but the atmosphere of the prose, the dominant themes or the mise-en-scene. What was this woman obsessed with? Was it perhaps a particular room in a house? Was it nature? Was it always the female characters? Was it particular objects? I think if you approach particularly short stories where a writer has to be concise with what they're thinking about, if you approach the problem like that, then you're not always looking at actually the words on the page. You're looking at the atmosphere of the prose, what it feels like, the textures. Perhaps it's the rhythm, or the colours that it throws up for you. So that was an important part of the process. The third sort of thing that I thought was key comes out of that, which is to quickly decide and accept that you might be wrong, or accept that it might be a judgment that not everybody is going to share. What are the key theatrical themes that you could address? So if it's a sitting room drama, then the carpet becomes really important, or the furniture becomes really important. If it's a drama about people that are repressed, which I would argue that the people who spoke the Welsh language in the late 1890s to right up to the 30s were repressed, then that might have implications for your costume. So it's to decide very quickly on that and run with your decision. Otherwise, it becomes impossible to... You've got too many problems to address, really. The translation, people arguing about the truthfulness of the translation, which can be a difficulty in the process. Finally, the fourth thing for me that was really important, it is to accept that when you're in the rehearsal room, you've got to let go of meaning. You've got to accept that the actors who all speak Welsh as either their first language or are fluent in it will talk in that language, and for long periods of the process you may not know what they're talking about. But that's okay, because in theatre, and in this production in particular, Kate, I was looking to not represent the language, but to represent some of Kate Roberts' primal themes. So I was more interested in creating images which I thought were, which were emblematic of what Kate Roberts was, why she's a really important European Welsh language writer. So I think maybe it's particularly men or male directors, I'm not sure, come into the rehearsal room and want to know everything. But knowing everything is just like a curse, really, in theatre. I think you've got to let go of meaning and let go sometimes of what's going on to allow the actors to play. So actually the business of how you approach a minority language production really is, the first thing is to accept as someone who doesn't share the minority language, is that it's going to be a mystery to you what's happening. But that's great, because then we're really into the most profound language of theatre, which is, it's a mystery.